What do you think about black pizza? Do you think it's impossible? Well, what if this tastes incredible and has just 2 grams of carb per slice? Yes, this is 100% edible and 100% keto. Hi everyone, I'm V, a former solo yacht chef and trained NLP psychologist. Keto, it's my taste of freedom. I've lived the keto lifestyle for a long time, but I can't do boring food and I refuse to eat boring keto. I want food that looks amazing and makes you crave it before the first bite. That's why I create recipes like this one. Keto can be better than your usual meals. Sometimes, I don't just want to eat. I want a performance. I want something dramatic, intentional, something that makes a statement. This black pizza wasn't just a meal. It was born from a moment of creative rebellion. So, black pizza, thin crust, 2 grams of net carbs per slice. Let's make it together. We'll need simple staples: cheese, eggs, bell peppers, cherry tomatoes, onions, some homemade labneh cheese, plus baking powder, salt and pepper. For the texture and color, we're using specialty items: psyllium husk, xanthan gum, squid ink, and also almond and flaxseed meals. I also use activated charcoal for that deep black look, but if you're on medication, charcoal can interfere with your treatment. In that case, I recommend using black sesame seeds or paste as a safe natural substitute. Alright, first let's melt the cheese in the microwave. Once it's melted, mix it thoroughly until you reach a perfectly smooth consistency. Next, start incorporating the squid ink gradually. Watch closely as the color of the dough deepens. I was aiming for a rich, intense black, so I used 4 tablespoons of squid ink and 1 tablespoon of food-grade activated charcoal, ground into a fine powder. For the base, instead of store-bought cream cheese, I use my homemade labneh. It's simple, just yogurt, thyme and gravity, but it gives the dough a soul. It makes it soft, flexible, and perfectly balanced. I've been on my own keto protocol for 6 months now. No trends, no quick fixes, just a structured system I built for myself. And here is the secret: I eat pizza, I eat bread, I enjoy desserts, and still losing weight. Now, I'm just 3 pounds, 1.5 kilograms away from my goal, and I'm calm because I know the science works. I've gathered a few tips here to help you master this recipe and make it even easier for you going forward. I use an immersion blender to whip the melted cheese into a seamless, smooth texture. Please make sure you don't skip this step. I added the charcoal to make a color dipper, but also my idea was to neutralize any seafood notes that typically come with squid ink. I was using a premium brand with very little sea flavor, but the charcoal trick definitely did the job. And again, please, if you prefer to avoid activated charcoal, you can substitute it with black sesame seeds. Just grind them into a fine meal using a coffee grinder with a small amount of psyllium husk. For the mix, almond flour for structure, psyllium husk and xanthan gum for that essential elasticity, and a single egg to bind it all together. When you roll it out, you'll feel it. It's alive. It isn't fragile. It doesn't feel like some keto substitute. It feels like premium dough. Once you've thoroughly combined the ingredients and the dough thickens into a homogeneous mass, it's time to stop and double-check your components. Ensure you've included it all: the xanthan gum for elasticity, the baking powder, which acts as our yeast substitute for a soft crust, and of course the flaxseed meal. Now, I cover it with plastic wrap and let it rest for about 15 minutes. This step is vital. The psyllium husk and flaxseed meal need time to hydrate and swell, ensuring the base holds its shape while remaining tender and elastic. Another key point: I roll the dough between 2 sheets of parchment paper. This helps to get it thin and even, about 0.8 centimeters thick, but a little more or less is perfectly fine. If the shape isn't perfect, don't worry, it's not a problem at all. Just peel back the top layer and fix the edges by moving extra pieces to where they're needed, and don't worry about it sticking parchment paper. Once your pizza base is baked, it will release from the parchment with ease. In my opinion, keto shouldn't feel like a cage. It shouldn't feel like you're giving up your joy. I call this visual keto. Why? Because if it looks like art, your brain doesn't feel depraved. Now, look at this dough. To get this deep, elegant black, I use high-quality squid ink and a bit of olive oil, and brushed my base before putting it in the oven. But it was not just about the color, it's about the architecture of my intention. I wanted to create something special. I pictured this rich, intense black and red color combination in my mind, and I'm already starting to crave this pizza. The oven should be preheated to 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. And this another key for your success pizza. Heat the baking tray along with it. I transfer the parchment with the pizza base directly onto the searing hot tray and pre-bake it for 10 minutes. Look for a firm crust to form on top as your sign that it's ready to come out of oven. Now, let's talk about the sauce. Of course, it's keto friendly. You won't jump out of ketosis just because you didn't check the ingredients of the sauce. I've prepared my sauce in advance to let the flavors develop. You can find this exact recipe along with 2 other signature variations in my Impossible Keto PDF guide. I've linked it in the description below so you can choose the perfect base for your pizza. Now I'm spreading this vibrant red sauce over my black canvas. The contrast is exactly what I visualized. The sauce creates a striking contrast against the black canvas of the base. I finished. Place the sauce. Then add thinly sliced green bell peppers and salami next. A few delicate onion rings. I generously topped it with a layer of mozzarella and thin tomato slices. I finish it all with a dusting of finely grated Parmesan cheese. If you prefer, you can substitute mozzarella with any meltable cheese like Gouda. Bake pizza for another 8 to 10 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. For the final 5 minutes, I use the grill setting to get that perfect golden cheese finish. I've been dreaming of this final touch. A few fragrant leaves of fresh basil settling right where they belong. I did it, and it feels exactly as I pictured it. Bold, beautiful, and absolutely delicious. This is more than a meal, it's a statement. I pictured a magnificent contrast, vibrant red tomatoes and golden cheese melting into this deep, elegant black base. I brush the edges with the remaining mixture of cuttlefish ink and olive oil. This creates a deep, glossy shimmer that truly brings the black base to life. So, my black pizza is done. Look at those crispy edges and that melting cheese against the dark crust. This isn't just a recipe, it's proof that you don't have to sacrifice pleasure to reach your goals. And here is the best part. All of this beauty comes with just 2 grams of net carbs per slice. I'm beyond happy with how this turned out. It's exactly what I wanted to achieve. This my Impossible Keto Pizza. It's a redesign of expectations. In my upcoming videos, I'll be breaking down the most critical issues that keep people from seeing real results. One of the biggest challenges, especially in the US, is the hidden sugar in everyday foods. It's a silent factor that can destroy your progress before you even notice it. Welcome to my taste of freedom.